First of all, what's up, everybody? You guys good? Yeah. Hell yeah, you guys look good tonight. Thank you guys for coming through. My name is Fred Burke, and I'll be hosting hashtag The Sit Down, hosted by Side Step and Adidas Originals, man. So show some love for Adidas and Side Step one time before we get started. They're the people responsible for bringing the beautiful Shekhinah to us tonight for your pleasure and entertainment. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. You know what I mean? We're gonna learn more about her journey. You know what I mean? We're gonna laugh a little, hopefully. You know what I mean? And we're also gonna hear some music. So, you know, if you guys want to snap anything, if you guys want to take pictures, remember the hashtag is this sit down. You know, make sure you tag Sidestep on that. I think we're gonna jump straight into the music.
Okay.
Your band looks ready.
Wow.
Your band looks ready. Or we can take it easy. We can have a little chat first.
Do you want to talk? Should we talk and then? Okay, we can sing.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
We can have this chat, right?
Let's chat.
Let's have a little chat. I'm sorry, Goofy. I'm sorry, Goofy. How you doing? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright.
I always enjoy seeing you.
Sorry?
I always enjoy seeing you.
You enjoy seeing me?
Yeah, that means I'm doing something that's like cool.
Oh wow, that's so nice. Hey, look at me. You know what I mean? How are things going?
Things are good. It's very busy, but fun.
I know you're in the middle of Rose Fest right now.
Yes, so we're having Rose Fest again in Durban in like 3 weeks. So we're in Durban a lot right now.
So were any of you guys at Rose Fest here in Joburg?
Thank you.
Yeah, I was there too.
Really? Oh yes.
I was there. I'm a fan. Just for everyone who wasn't here, like what was your? I know that's like your first big solo show / concert / festival. It was very beautiful. Everyone showed up. What was that experience like for you? I can only imagine how overwhelming that must have been.
It was crazy. It was really like the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah, it took all my money, all my time, but I really had a vision in mind, and it exceeded my expectations, which is something that continues to shock me every day, as I didn't expect it to be so amazing. So yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you to you guys that came.
Shout out. And so one thing I want to know, I was thinking about this the other day. So I'm not a musician, so I've never been in this position before. But so you came a really long way from, you know what I mean, probably, you know, dreaming in your room that you were going to be in this position one day, right? That people were going to know your songs, that you were going to have an impact on this level. And we kind of have heard like the story of like what goes into making the album, right? But what I'm curious about is, so after you put out your debut album, and then you get the awards, and then you get the fame, and then you get the notoriety, and then people know your name and know your songs, the expectation that comes with it afterwards, right? People often think that, you know, the job is to put out the album first, right?
Yeah.
But like, I feel, from my experience with talking with a lot of musicians or just creatives in general, that slump after the album comes out is really what a lot of them point to as being like a challenging. I wonder how after, you know, you put out Rose Gold and, you know what I mean, everyone knew Shekhinah and she was elevated to this level. What was that experience like navigating afterwards? Like, did you feel anxious that, you know, now you had to top what you'd done before? Or tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. Making the album, first of all, is super fun because you're broke, you're hungry, you're passionate, you have time, and nobody's booking you. You don't have a job, and all you have really is a dream. So that's a really exciting time to be, like a debut album. But then it exceeds your expectations and it becomes a big deal and people start enjoying everything that's happening. But there's this expectation that comes and it just flips everything and you completely become a different person to like the girl that was hungry and passionate and excited and had the time. Now to make music is like we have to find the time to make music, and it's like now we have to find the passion because we're so busy we don't have time to dream anymore, which is a really scary space to be in. It's like feeling like I'm always on the go and I'm not actually sitting and just zoning out and thinking this is what I'd like to do, this is what I want to create. And I think like that's probably the best question that you could have asked me today. It's just the expectations that people have on you. I think I found myself this year in particular maybe from October to now, just wanting to be 24 before the end of 24 is over. In like 3 weeks, I just felt like I want to be me. I don't want to be this person that everybody knows and everybody enjoys. So I got a whole new Instagram account that's just me and not like that person. And it's just like, I've been dreaming so long and been pushing music for so long since high school that I forgot to like acknowledge myself as a person, you know? So I really took the last few months to try and acknowledge myself as a person and be like, okay, you have family, dude. You have niece, you have a sister, you have a dad, and you have friends that you've neglected because you're so busy, and that's so important. And then you find yourself in a position where you need all your friends and you realize everybody's gone because you've been so busy trying to execute your dreams. So that's really where I was, but it's so crazy. All of that stuff inspired me to make new music, which is really cool.
That's really dope, man. Show some love for that, man. Show some love for that. Hey, before we get too deep, I think now we can get into the music a little.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna chat a little bit afterwards, and then you guys can also have the opportunity to ask some questions. Yeah.
Thanks,
do your
Roy.
thing. Do your thing.
You. Hello, everyone. It's just us now. Julian on guitar, everyone. Kiki on the synth and keys. And that's Fred on the mic. I thought that, I wasn't supposed to perform today, but I thought, like, what else am I gonna do? Like, what else am I gonna say? I'm not really a great public speaker. I feel like I'm very introverted at times, but when it comes to music, I enjoy that more than anything. So, what do you want to hear first? Overdose. Different and overdose. Wow. You guys pulled out some crazy requests there. Should we do different first? Okay, cool.
1, 2.
Okay, so there's a part that goes in my own way, in my own way, in my own way, and that's your part. Yeah, let's go. So it goes. In my own way. What? In my own way. I hear a harmony. Is there a harmony coming from this side? In my own way. Okay, we'll have that one from this side. Let's go. In my own way. In my own way. In my own way. Hey, shout out for the harmony. We need it when it comes back again. Okay. Different in my own way. Rose gold, baby, in my own shade, baby. Living in a new age. I guess I'm just a limited edition. Not too many edits like me. No, you cannot find it than me. Guess I'm just a sucker for the independent mama drama. I'ma do whatever I can. I need you to understand. I'm nothing like what you had. I'm nothing like what you had. What? If you can hear it, I'm calling out. Promise to love you particularly, just to the way you need. Put your heart in a special place. True colors all the way. Let me hear you say, baby, baby, baby. felt like it was the most overwhelming experience I've ever experienced. But I felt like this guy didn't understand me, you know, like he didn't know what I want. But at the end of the day, I didn't mind, you know. So he didn't understand, but I didn't mind. As long as I still had him around, that's like all that really mattered to me. So that's why I was just always like, It was like the most romantic shit ever, guys. And I used to leave a key by my window for him, like whenever he decided to show up, because he was never around. And I was like already, I never knew, he didn't have a phone either, so I didn't know when he was gonna pull up. So I always leave a key by the window, and I'd always be like, okay. I'd call my friend, I'm like, I don't know, I think he's gonna come now. I don't know if he'll be there, I don't know if I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna leave this key by my window. And he always showed up, and he still always shows up, so that's really cool. Don't tell me where you go when I see you leaving me. I guess you're just done with needing me. Sometimes I just doubt what you mean to me, but still leave a key so you feel like my home somehow is part of your destiny. I let you be nice and breathing, sink into the cloud in my days dream. Sink into the cloud in my days dream, yeah. And I don't wanna be so deep, but I get all caught up in my feelings. When you say the smallest things, no, you just can't achieve it. No, I don't believe it, yeah. But I know you feel it too. Yeah, I know you feel I don't know. I don't know how to tie in the whole Adidas and Side Step thing, but what I do know is that I didn't know fashion or the love for fashion before I met this person. So it was really cool. He introduced me to brands like Adidas, and we would thrift Adidas, and we would thrift all sorts of cool things. That's why I wrote Suited. The title came from the fact that he really liked to make clothes, and he was a tailor, so I felt like I was suited for my tailor, you know, in a way. I know, so weird, so sucky, guys. But yeah, that's also where I kind of get my love for clothes. I don't have like a massive love for clothes, but I enjoy not wearing sneakers, but wearing sandals and socks, or trying to incorporate a brand in a way that's authentic to me and not just, because I can't wear track pants, guys. No, they don't look good on me. So I always try and do something that kind of fits me, but still is Addy, you know, and still sweaty. And I spoke to the guys from Adidas on the phone today, and I was like, you know, I really am grateful for everything they've done for me this year. They've made sure we look good all the time. They've styled my band. They've involved me in really cool things, you know. And I guess sometimes it's two different people coming together to make one thing work. But that's how the world works, in collaboration. So it's really cool to be able to be something so different, and to still see us try and come together as an original international clothing brand and a local artist. We have little alignment, but we try to collaborate, and I think that's the beauty of the world, you know. We're all different, but we still manage to come together and work together. So yeah, shout out to Side Step and Adidas for having me here today. And I'm gonna invite Fred back, and then maybe we can close with a song. And I have some gifts for you guys.
Let's do it. I know people want to hear you talk a little bit more, so we're gonna have a little conversation, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Can I grab that? Can I steal that from you, man?
Bye, Julian.
I'm sorry. What up, Cookie? Anytime is freestyle time.
Anytime is freestyle time.
You guys still there? Yeah. So, I mean, the choice of I don't want to say influences, but the choice of all the personalities for the sit down, you know, when I discussed it with the guys at Addy and at Side Step, you know, everyone, it was really about people who we feel are trailblazers in your respective industries, you know, about creativity. And creativity is such a weird thing because you can't explain it to anybody, right? It's almost like a force that controls you, and you're just like the vehicle through which you know, it expresses itself. I wonder for anyone, who do we have out here? What do we have out here? Photographers, designers, singers, rappers, artists.
Hello.
What? Fashion? Auditor. Okay, that works too.
That's works.
That works too. I'm sure like creative problem solving, something, right? Yeah. So I wonder in your journey at like the very beginning, at what point did you kind of realize that you were artistically inclined, and like how did you respond to it? You know what I mean? Like, was it something that was always with you, or you kind of, you know, snapped into it one day and you're like, oh, okay, this is what this thing is, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
I don't know. What I realized, and the same thing happened recently with Rose Fest, is that everything that I dreamt about and tried to make a reality always happened. I wanted to be on Idols, and it happened, and I was like, okay. I wanted to do theater, and it happened. And then I wanted to go to college, and that happened. And then I got a full college experience that I'll never forget. And then I wanted to make an album that was impactful and memorable, and something that kind of brought back female power, female energy. And And that happened. And for me, Fred, like down to platform shoes, right? We could, like, my parents couldn't afford Spice Girls. They had 4 kids. I don't know why they didn't just have me, but jokes. they had. I watched the Spice Girls, and they had platforms, and they had like a really cool camera, and they sang. And it's 3 things that are super, super memorable to me, because I could never afford platforms. I could never afford a Polaroid camera, and I wasn't a singer. And it's so crazy. Years later, my cupboard is full of platforms. I have 3 Polaroid cameras, and I'm a musician. And it's just like, that dream came into reality by just being persistent in being me. So I think that's when I realized I was a creator. And now I'm in the next step of my journey where I'm dreaming again. And I hope to make a really cool movie, you know. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. A movie about insecurities, but we'll see how it happens, yeah.
That's really dope. That's really dope. So I thought it was interesting that the first song that you performed was different.
Yeah.
Well, that actually the guys requested was different, right?
Yes.
Because, I mean, the reason we're all here is because you're different, because you're an original.
Oh, shout out.
Right? It's because you're an original. I wonder, in your creative journey, in your business, what is the one thing, or maybe not one thing, but what is something that you can think of that you think defined the trajectory of your career? And and it made you stand out? Because I mean, the truth is there are so many singers, rappers, artists, designers, thousands and thousands, where, you know, everyone is trying to kind of, you know, carve their place into the industry, and like here you are, you know, like a shining beacon. What do you think makes you an original?
I think I'm just being me always. And it's hard to be yourself. So that's something that's okay. It's okay, because it's never been easy to be me. It's never been easy to be chubby and try and be a pop star. It's never been easy to not put men on a platform and still be accepted by men. But I knew that with the father that I had growing up, that I was supposed to be treated a certain way to men. I was chilling with my brother today, and he was just such a gentleman, and I was just like, whoa, you know. And I think that changed a lot for me. Is number one, when I stepped into the industry, I didn't feel like I needed to impress people, so I just kind of did my own thing. I still don't have friends per se in the industry, and I think that's just because I'm okay with being me, and it's hard to be me. That's why it's hard for me to release music, because in such a short space of time, because I have to be me, and it has to be about what I'm feeling. And when you're authentically yourself, you relate to everyone, which is so crazy. Yeah.
That's real talk. I think it's interesting that you say that it's the hardest thing is to be yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that all the time, and you would think that would be the thing that would come most naturally, right? But literally from the moment you're born, you're conditioned into like being this version of yourself that is like, so you get further and further away from the pure version of yourself, right?
Yep.
And then at some point, if you snap out of it, you're like, wait, no, I have to work myself back to the center.
Yeah.
Right? It's a weird, very weird.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
that's why kids are so special, because they're young and they're untainted by the world.
Yeah. Shout out to the kids.
Yeah.
Shout out to the kids. Yo, so I wanna. I was reading some of your lyrics earlier today.
Oh goodness. My lyrics are really basic, like just like I love you.
Shekhinah is low key like an MC. I don't know if you guys know.
Yo.
Shekhinah is low key like an MC. Like she's just harmonizing it really well, so you think she's saying some like, you know what I mean, like ethereal stuff, but she's really hitting us with bars. Like, so this is maybe my favorite Shekhinah song, right?
Okay.
And I want us to go through this verse.
I'm so scared.
It's just just verse 1, and you can add some context to it as well. I think it's also really important because beyond just being, you know, a really dope musician and a singer and all these things that you are, just by virtue of being yourself and like the merch and how you're bossing up with Rose Fest and just the example that you are, you're also like a really shining example for like strong female energy, you know?
Thank you.
And I don't mean that like in the like corny way or whatever. I just mean like, I mean it's easy for people to talk about it or like create the hashtags or whatever, but you're living by example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's really dope. So, and I think it speaks to the times that we're in as well. You know, right now. So this is the first verse from Thirsty, right? You guys know this joint? All right, cool. I'm just gonna read it out line by line. You can help me out with some context. So, all my ladies know we've been down a crazy road, turning back to paper roll. Yeah, where two can grow and make a whole. I thought that we had established this long ago, equality being a goal. But why do I still find myself sipping on my silence, taking in your violence? I'm too scared to let a man know what I feel in my soul. I ain't really that slow. This is all just for show. I really know that you are, and no, I ain't letting it go. I think it's time that you know.
Yeah.
That's like.
Wow, I forgot about that song.
Yeah, I didn't forget. I didn't forget. I think that verse is powerful for me because, I mean, the song is dope in general, but that verse is powerful for me even more so now than it was when it came out in 2017 because I think about just how like women are affirming themselves right now. You know what I mean? In business, in politics, in society. And it's a really dope like vote of confidence. You know what I mean? Where were you at when you wrote that verse?
Let me tell you.
Your mind space.
I was angry when I wrote that song because I was with the Wolf Pack. I was with Kyle and Sketchy and A1 Wolf and. Yeah, I'm also not afraid to say people's names. My reality is my reality, and my truth is my truth. But yeah, I like came up with a bunch of guys, you know, and I felt like it was so difficult for people to call me Shekhinah. People always called me Sketchy Bongo or Kyle Dage. Like they call me Kyle Dage or call me Sketchy Bongo, and. I just felt like there was this pattern that I was noticing, you know, that there was a lack of disrespect, consistently. And that is my problem in the industry forever, till today. You can't dictate my worth to me, you know. I did a show recently and this guy said to me, like, oh, you are not, your fee is too much for who you are. Then I was just like, well, don't have me here then. You know, don't have me here if you don't want me here. Don't make me feel bad for knowing my worth. And I think that's a problem with women. We let men dictate our worth so much to the point where we believe them. And with doing Rose Fest, I booked people. I booked the ladies on the lineup, but didn't get any favors or didn't do discounts or anything. I did a trade exchange with Busiswa. So she did a show for me and I owe her a show. That was as far as the discounts went for Rose Fest. Everyone else was paid in full, including VAT. And one thing I realized, having everybody's invoices in front of me, was that the girls don't charge enough. And it freaked me out because I know I charge double that.
You get that money.
No, not like that.
She should kind of get that money.
Yeah, but that's why you don't see me everywhere. That's why I'm not working all the time. That's why I'm not doing shows every weekend. You can't.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You earned that money. You heard her sing earlier. You earned that money.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's what it is. I'd rather sit at home and make new music and continue to prove my worth to you than you bargain me down to a place where you know, where it eventually gets out and it's like, oh, but I got Shekhinah for this much. Oh, but I can get her for that much. and then your work just continues to depreciate because of a favor that you did for one person, you know, and that's where all that energy came from, and that was before now. So it was on such a micro scale, and now that I'm in this position, it's just like, it's such a different place now. Now I compare myself to people that people think I shouldn't compare myself to, AKA or Casper or Nasty C. Really, people don't think I should compare myself to them, but really I'll compare myself to whoever I want to compare myself to. And I just feel like,
For that.
yeah. I just feel like the girls in our industry at the moment are doing 10 times more than what the men are doing right now. And it's not to say, oh, women are this, women are great. It's just the facts. We know what Shaw's doing. We know what Busisi's doing. We know what Busisi has been queen our whole lives. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that annoys me is that she's never won a summer. She's never been on that she's never won Best Female.
She on that album with Beyonce though.
Come on, dude. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she still doesn't charge as much as Casper or AKA. What? Why? You know? So I get a bit touchy about these situations, and it's not about the money, it's the principle behind it.
Most def.
You don't value me when I do the same thing that that person does.
Most def.
So that's where Thirsty came from, and I was just like, all my ladies know we've been down a crazy road, hell and back to pave a road where two can grow, you know, and I just feel like we are not growing when the Women's Day event is run by a man and he's making the profits.
Straight up.
Which is why I'm so passionate about Rosefest, because Rosefest is for women, by a woman. You're being booked by a woman. It's not going to some man at the end of the day. It's going to the woman, and the women are getting paid. And the people that are doing the sound are women. And the people that are organizing the show is women. We get downplayed so much, but we are the backbone of most men in our country. So yeah. That's just how I've always felt, I guess, and I think now it's really cool because it's in the climate that we're in, we can talk about it, and I just feel like we're so conditioned to the way we've been treated that it's a big shock for men, but for us it's just like, this has been happening, you know. So yeah, that's where Thirsty came from. I didn't know it was there until you reminded me now.
Shout out. Okay, I'm gonna open the floor to some questions. If there are some inquiring minds out here who have any questions for my friend Shekhinah. I know you guys have some questions or some comments in general. Is there anyone out here who wants something to say? You have something to give her? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you want to maybe explain? No, you don't?
I can explain. Okay, so
Tell us what your name is.
my name is Ronisha.
Hi, Renisha.
Hi, Shekhinah. Sorry guys, but I'm a biggest fan. And yes. I wrote your email when I was 16. That was 2 years ago. And today I got the chance to finally get to know who you are better. Okay, I do know you from what I know from social media, but the email inspired me to tell you like what I feel, like how I appreciate you, the music you do, because many young people don't get the opportunity to get out there, and you were fortunate enough to be where you are now. Yeah. So I'm sure everyone here appreciates you, but I'm still your biggest fan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, babe.
Shout out. So, now I'm just sitting here awkwardly waiting for someone to give me a letter. No?
Did anyone bring a letter?
It's cool. It's cool.
Liz.
I'll take it. It's a Wi-Fi password, but I'll take it. Anyone else? Question? We have a cool
Question?
Tell us what your name is.
Hi, my name is Khotato.
Hey.
I just have a general question. Like, I've noticed, like nowadays, maybe like for instance in the hip hop industry, like everybody's just trying to like be like American and all that. Like, do you think like it's always good to like always keep it authentic? For instance, like a Shoma Josie, a Java, they recognized overseas because of their authenticness. You know what I mean? Yeah, because like, do you think it's always that authenticness that hurts a lot of artists, you know, because they're just trying to be American. Each and every artist is trying to be American. Like, do you think that authenticness that's what we need in our industry? Because I just feel like everybody's just trying to be the next Drake, the next Lil Wayne, you know, whereas we have our own. For instance, Ayanda, I don't know if you guys know, I understand her album is great, but she's not being recognized.
Okay.
You know. So do you think that authentic, that's what we need to like invest in our own local music? You know what I mean?
I think it goes back to what I said about being yourself, you know. My biggest problem with a lot of hip-hop, what is it, rap, hip-hop artists is that I know the flows. I know where that flow comes from. I know St. John, you know, and it's just like, that's my only problem, is that I can recognize that as not coming organically from you, but I still appreciate somebody that can take something that isn't theirs and make it something new, you know. All ideas have been done per se, you know, there's no new ideas. But I think when you tap into yourself and when you're authentic, that gives you the biggest platform ever. Sure is sure, Java is Java. I think being an artist and knowing them on a personal level, you know that they are who they present themselves to be. And that's so different to most of the personalities that you see. Most of the personalities that you see on they're not that. They're not living that life. They're not making that money. But when you look at a Java and a Shoma Josie, that's really who they are. I went thrifting the other day, okay, let me not say what area it is, but it was like in town. And then I saw Shaw standing in the streets with no shoes. And she's like, yeah, no, this is my house, I live here. You know what I mean? So she's not living that Santon life. She's not putting on a weave when we're not around. You know, she's always that girl that you see. And that is why she's so successful, because she's authentically herself. And it's the same with Java. Java is that caring. He calls me all the time and he's like, are you okay? You're not answering your phone, you're not texting. And he's like, okay, I want you to listen to this. And whenever he sends me something, it's never something that I've heard before, it's always him. So I think it's cool to be in that space of creativity where you're remaking something and you're bringing it into here. So you are serving that industry in this country. So I'm serving the R&B industry in South Africa. That's really cool. But the question is, how far do you want to go and how far do you want to take it? I think that's where the authenticity plays its best role. You know, so do whatever you want to do. Being American is just a cool, you know, man.
To the role of patience in your career, because I know you and I have had a couple chats, and I remember how you expressed to me how, like, so I think at this time, like, Back to the Beach blows up, but you're in school still, right? And so you have the pressure of the industry, who's like, well, you gave us this hit, and here's this new, fresh voice on the scene. And we need like more from you, like right now, right? But you've kind of made this pact with yourself. It's like I have to finish school, and I have these people who I don't want to let down, right? And I know as creatives, or not just creatives, but everyone has been in a position before where you've probably been conflicted about something, about two main ideas, or a passion versus a responsibility that you have, people who are relying on you, or that you got to take care of, or people who are depending on you for a certain thing, but then you have this burning desire to do whatever it may be, you know, and you just probably feel down and under sometimes about how to go about that. And if you can speak a bit to the role of passion in that kind of predicament. Patience.
Yes. That was my whole life. I had Back to the Beach, I Did Let You Know, I Had Your Eyes, and I was in second year, and I was 21, 22, and everyone just expected an album, and everyone wanted an album. And not only that, like you're never good enough for people. So people are like, okay, so but what can you do? That's the Shekhinah song, because that's a feature. That's a Black Coffee feature. That's a Slick feature. That's a Sketchy Bongo feature. What can you do in your own capacity? And it's like, I had to wait so long to be able to prove myself. I had to finish my degree, and then still after that, I still had to put things in place for me to be a musician. I had to find somewhere to stay. I had to find the people that I was going to record with. I had to make the music and feel like it was good enough for me before I could give it to you guys. So that was difficult. It was difficult to be patient, but it worked out so much better for me because I could sit here and I could like, this is my phone. I hope I have battery because this will be funny. But I can play you what Please Mister used to sound like before it was Please Mister. And it was not that, you know. But imagine if I was like, no, this is my song, Please Mister, this is great. Then it would never have been what you hear today, you know. I don't know if you'll hear it, but let's see.
Let's try it out.
So it's more like a really pop song, and like I really like JoJo, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to be patient, and like right now everybody wants a new album and new music. But if you want that now, I can give it to you, but it's not going to be at the level that you want, and it's not going to meet your expectations.
Yeah, I think that's important in general, man, for anyone, because it's hard, especially when like you're young. It's hard not to feel like you have to do everything now. You know what I mean? Like you want to give it, it's like you're burning with passion. It's like I have to do it now, and you're looking externally, which doesn't help. Whether it be like on the gram, whether it be at like people who are next to you, whether it be like at work, you're looking at everybody else. It's like, damn, everybody's living good though.
Everybody's
you know what I mean?
shopping.
I need to do this now. You know, and that's a tough 21st century pressure that we have to deal with, man. I know you guys feel me on that. Yeah. I know you guys feel me on that.
We do.
Yeah, don't drop for no reason, guys. Don't drop your music for no reason, just because you feel pressure, just because someone else is doing. Let that other person shine, and let them drop their stuff, and let everybody love their stuff. And when there's a gap and a space for you, then you step through, you know?
Yeah, what is for you is for you.
Yeah.
Right, Craig? Yeah. Yo, is there anybody else who wants to? The lovely lady over here. What's up? Tell us what your name is.
Hi guys, my name is Lele too. This question that I want to ask is kind of a bit more personal to me, particularly. Okay. Before I ask my question, I do want to say that thank you for your contribution. You know, you're one of the. Okay, I've been obsessed and passionate about music for a long time. I've been singing songs since I was like 9 years old, so it's been who I am. And it was hard for me to understand that I can make it and be me, you know? Like I don't need to lose weight to be, you know, top selling or whatever. And my question really is, right now I'm in first year studying something that I'm not particularly very passionate about, and I know it's not my purpose because I know where my purpose lies. And it's the thing of, I felt you on that scary space of feeling like your creativity is stifled. It's like the forces that used to work through me, you know, aren't there anymore, and it's a very scary, sort of weird feeling. And so I was thinking of, I wanted to study live performance at AFTA next year. And but I really wanted to know from someone who studied it, like what did it do for you as an artist? And obviously it's expensive, but like, is it worth it?
Best thing I ever did, live performance at AFTA. And like no props to like, no shout outs to the school for no particular reason, but just to the course. The course taught me how to put in systems that work greatly, that a lot of people don't have, structures that support you as an artist and allow you to make sure you are looked after in every avenue, you know? Going to AFTA changed my life. I think if I had just continued trying to make music after Matric and after Idols, I would have been lost, and I would have thought that things came easily. But when you study, when you learn how to get into a routine as a musician or as a creative, it's something that we struggle with because our work is not a 9-to-5 kind of situation. If I don't get up and do anything, then I don't get up and do anything, you know? Nobody's gonna call me and say, Shekhinah, you didn't go to the studio today. That's not gonna happen. So going to AFTER really assisted me and helped me understand that even in a creative environment, you wake up, and whether you wake up and you go to gym, like, I know I'm chubby, but I love to go to gym. I love to go to gym, and I love to eat, so I do both. But it's like, I wake up and I go to gym, and then I go to studio, and then I watch a lot of TV in between, and then I make sure that I speak to a lot of people, and then I make sure I create, and then I make sure I answer emails, and then I make sure I go to rehearsal. Nobody makes us go to rehearsals, but we go twice a week. I don't know many artists that rehearse twice a week, but I feel like because we do so many shows, it's important for us to make sure each show is different. So we'll start with Back to the Beach this show, and the next one we'll start with The Suited. But I don't want you to stand there and know my set word for word, which is kind of something that happened to me coming up. I could see a lot of South African artists that I knew when Toya's set was gonna start, when she was gonna dance, when she was gonna finish her show. I did, you know, and I didn't want that to be the case for me, and AFTER taught me that. AFTER really helped me move my world around. Now I knew I had to get up and I have to make sure I have a story behind everything that I do. I have to think about the performance, which is why I'm like, I need to perform at Side Step today because there's a story and there's a performance in the medium of music, and my aesthetic needs to be something that's important to me, so I have to have makeup done before I get here. And the control aspect is the planning that goes around it. We didn't just rock up today. There has been a great team behind this that's been working hard to make sure that today happens. Everybody was aware that today was happening and in place and coordinated. And that's the control aspect of things, where your job comes in, auditing and making sure, you know, that things happen. We all work together. Finance, doctor, I had surgery done on my vocal cords recently. We all work together. Go to school, dude. School's cool. Whether you're studying something that you're not passionate about, it's not really about what you study, but it's about the routine, and it's about just getting into a space, especially when you're creative and you just want to stay home and smoke all day. You know, you need to know that you have to get up and focus. Yeah.
Real talk. Real talk. We can take one more question if there is one. One more question. It's your last chance. One more comment. Da, 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 da.
Brothers at the back.
Da, 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 da. All right, I got you. We're gonna take these last two.
Yeah. So you say like when you have to write your music, you have to like go through things in like your life, what's currently happening and everything. So do you just like draw the pen and start writing music, like lyrics, without any instrumental help and whatever?
I used to when I was maybe 18, 19, 20. I'm like 25 this year. And when I was younger, I used to wake up and be like, oh my God, these words go together so perfectly. But now I'm in the space where I need to be inspired by someone else. So I always have someone playing keys. And if there's no one there to play keys for me, I play the keys for myself, even though I suck at it. Any kind of sound inspires me. Or I like to listen to like beats on YouTube and just kind of get inspiration from there. Any kind of music inspires me to create and write.
Have you ever made music from beats on YouTube?
Have I ever made music? No, I've never made a song from YouTube. I don't like doing that. Yeah. Because then someone else has the same beats as me.
Sweet. And final question. Tell us what your name is.
Hi, I'm Aya.
Hi, Aya.
And my question for you kind of builds on what he was asking about how a lot of our rappers and our musicians, this I thought from American culture. So I don't know, you probably know this, but you're really influential. Like you really have our mom singing and like, you know.
Yay!
But I wanted to know if you maybe in some way or another aspire to draw the South African audience back to like South African music and South African creators.
I do what I know, so I don't know any South African vernacular languages. I grew up speaking English as my first language, so it's important for me to be able to communicate the way that I know. But I could try, you know, I could always try and be like, okay, I'm from Durban, so let me sing a song about or something, or you know, but that wouldn't be authentic to me. So I always try and do what's extremely authentic to me, and that is singing in English, and that is whatever happens from there onwards, you know. Everybody's authenticity is different and comes from different places, so it's important that you know where you come from, because it's your purpose. I don't speak any other language besides English for a reason. So yeah, that's kind of where it is for me. Culturally in South Africa, I come from a culture of living with Indian people, as well as living with colored people, as well as living with white people, as well as living with black people. So I don't fixate on just being a Zulu girl from Durban, or being half colored, or being this. I'm really just a rainbow nation, and I'm trying to appeal to those people. But you will get your people that will appeal to whatever South African culture you identify with, and that's what's so cool about Amifaku, right? And that's what's so cool about Simi. I'm from Durban, I don't speak Zulu, and that's what's so cool about Malum Cool Cat on the music front of things, is that listening to his music makes me feel like I'm in Durban. Listening to Simi's music makes me feel like I'm in Durban. And that's why there's a big wheel, and there's all these spokes in the wheel, and everyone is a different thing, but the wheel still turns, you know, still moves, and it works, and there's something for you in that wheel, you know. I'm gonna work on the English side of things, and yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much, guys.
On that note,
I have some stuff for you guys.
so this is what we're gonna do, right? Okay, wait, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna give a really loud round of applause for Shekhinah. Come on. Shout out to you for taking the time and coming out here, sharing with the kids. Thank you so much. Shout out to Adidas Originals, and shout out to Side Step for hosting us in this really, really dope initiative. You know, we got DJ Speech to us, the My Little Miss Cosmo coming up next week. Just saying, you know, if you guys trying to sign up for that, make sure you do that on the sitdown.co.za as well.